Hey guys, Lamont here, and today I'm going to be talking about Girl Online, which is Zoe Sugg's debut novel. And this is a book that is aimed at 12 to 16-year-old girls. I'm clearly not one of those, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought I would just share my thoughts on it, and yeah, just have a little chat. But of course there's going to be no spoilers, because no one likes spoilers. Spoilers are lame. So yeah, just going to share my little thoughts about this cute little book. Basically, the general plot of the book, without any spoilers, is there's a main character called Penny, and she writes a blog called Girl Online, and then she goes through a bit of an embarrassing thing at school, and then she gets the chance to go to New York, so she goes to New York with her family, and then she finds a boy who plays music and stuff, and she falls in love, and romance ensues, and then it goes a bit awry at the end, and then, yeah. So, that's the basic kind of premise. It's a very lovey-dovey, cutesy teenage book. But I really enjoyed it. I'm not much of a reader. The only books that I've read are the Harry Potter series, the Hunger Games series, and Twilight. So I'm a teenage girl. But I really enjoyed this book. As I said, I don't really read much, but I read this in 2 days, so it was addicting. I really enjoyed reading it, and yeah, the characters are really fun and likeable. For me personally, I really enjoyed that there was a gay character, and he was presented in a positive and cool way, because mainstream books don't really have gay characters. Like Harry Potter doesn't have gay characters, apart from Dumbledore, but it's never like brought up in the story. And the Hunger Games doesn't have any gay characters, and Twilight doesn't have any gay characters. So it was cool to have a gay character in a mainstream book which sold 78,000 copies in the first week. So it's made an impact. So yeah, I was just really happy to see a gay character who's a positive influence in the book and is just treated normally, and LGBT issues are dealt with in the book, and it's presented in a positive manner. So I was really happy with that, and it was really cool to see that in a mainstream book. And then of course, Zoe suffers from anxiety disorder and has panic attacks, so that is brought up in this book. And it's dealt with in a really cool way, because I've never really known much about anxiety or panic attacks, but through Zoe's vlogs I've learnt about them. And in this book, it's very cool because you kind of learn what it's like to have one, because it's very descriptive of what happens when you feel like having a panic attack. And in the book, if you have anxiety disorder and if you have panic attacks, it's great because, they have some coping mechanisms in here. So they tell you how to cope with having a panic attack and how to, like, quell it kind of thing. So, yeah, if you have panic attacks, this is useful as well as entertaining. And if you don't, this is educational and entertaining. So, yeah. So it's really cool to see mental illness and sexualities dealt with in a positive and reassuring manner. So that was cool. And then, what else? Oh, of course, like I mentioned, the main character writes blog posts, and they have blog posts inserted in various areas of the book. And I think that's used in a really cool way, and it like adds to the narrative in a very interesting kind of manner. And then they have texts put in it as well, like on your phone. So yeah, that kind of like different kind of writing style added in was very interesting to me. And there's tweets in it as well. So it's a very current book. So if you're like my age or younger, you'll really enjoy that kind of social media bloggy aspect to it. And yeah, in terms of the plot itself, it's very, very like lovey-dovey, mushy, like not cliched, I don't know. It's, as soon as the characters are introduced, you kind of know what's going to happen, and the plot reads like a fairy tale, so yeah. But like, everyone enjoys fairy tales. It doesn't matter that you know so-and-so is going to do this or whatever. So don't read this thinking it's like the Da Vinci Code or like something with amazing plots and twists and all that kind of stuff. It's a very light read, it's very fun and cutesy and lovey-dovey and enjoyable, and it's aimed at teenage girls, so it's not going to be like incredibly challenging or whatever. And the writing style is very like basic. It's not like overly descriptive, and there's no like metaphors, blah blah blah. Very basic, very easy read, very quick to read in 2 days. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very cool book, and I thought it was really cool to see those kind of elements of panic disorders and sexuality dealt with in a mainstream book, and knowing that this is going to go to teenage girls mainly, and they're very impressionable and they're the next generation. So I think it's important to teach those kind of like the youth that it's cool to be gay, and it's okay to have panic attacks, and you need to be more understanding and accepting and positive about these things. So yeah, that came out really well in this book. And another thing that came out well was Zoe's personality. Like, the character really loves scented candles and salted caramel things and bath bombs. just like Zoe does. And the character's dad's really good at making food, just like Zoe's own dad is. So if you're a Zoe viewer, you'll get those kind of extra little things that you'll notice and enjoy. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And I have to close on a bit of a sad note, because recently it came out that Zoe had this ghostwritten, meaning that someone else wrote the book for her, and then she put her name on it and said that she wrote it. But I don't think it's fully like that, because she's always told that she was having help to write the book, because writing books is very, very difficult, especially when you are a very busy and successful YouTuber and entrepreneur like Zoe is. And yeah, so she's always wanted to write a book, but it's a challenging thing to do, and Penguin came to her saying, hey, we can do this for you. So obviously she took that chance, and she took that opportunity, and yeah, I don't think it's too, like, at first I was disappointed because I felt a bit misled, because I thought Zoe wrote all of it, but she didn't. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought about it for a while, and of course, if you get this kind of opportunity, you were going to take it, and the book reads as if Zoe had a huge influence, because it's very much Zoe in this book. It's talking about things that she cares about, things she wants awareness for, and the characters have traits that she has, like her interests and passions and stuff like that, and it's set in Brighton and stuff like that, so it's very familiar for a Zoella audience. So yeah, I don't think the ghostwriting is too bad, but I just wish she'd been a little bit more open about it. But we don't have any confirmed like statements about whether it was or wasn't. It's just been a lot of mess, like a lot of press recently, press and mess. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I would buy it again, and I recommend it to Zoella viewers, because they're going to get the most out of this. And if you like things like Tracy Beaker, Angus Thong's The Perfect Snogging, My Mad Fat Diary, if you like those kind of things, you'll probably like this book, because it's that kind of romancy, teenage angst, embarrassing, growing up kind of trials and tribulations kind of book. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I was a little bit disappointed that it was ghostwritten, but I'm okay with it in the end, because the important thing is she made a really entertaining book, and it has really positive examples of sexuality and panic attacks and stuff. So yeah, I really liked it, and I would like to hear your thoughts on it, because if you've read this book, tell me what you thought of the book, and if not, tell me what you think about Zoe having a ghostwriter, because it's pretty common. It's pretty common for celebrities to have ghostwriters and have people help them write books. So yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. But that is it for this week. I hope to see you next Friday, but for now, goodbye.